Michael Saylor, you said before there's no second best to Bitcoin. What would be the second best? Traditionally, there's Ethereum with smart contracts, Cardano with proof of stake, Polkadot with interoperability between blockchains. Dogecoin has the incredible power of the meme. Privacy with Monero. I just can keep going. There's of course after the block size wars, the different offshoots of Bitcoin.
I think if you decompose or segment the crypto market, you've got crypto property. Bitcoin is the king of that. And other Bitcoin forks that wanted to be a bearer instrument, store of value, right, would be a property, a Bitcoin Cash or a Litecoin, something like that. Then you've got cryptocurrencies. I don't think Bitcoin's a currency because a currency I define in nation state sense. A currency is a digital asset that you can transfer as in a transaction without incurring a taxable obligation. So that means it has to be a stable dollar or a stable euro or a stable yen, a stable coin. Mm-hmm. So I think you've got cryptocurrencies, Tether, Circle, most famous. Then I think you've got crypto platforms, and Ethereum is the most famous of the crypto platforms, the platform upon which, with smart contract functionality, et cetera. And then I think you've got just crypto securities. It's just like my favorite whatever meme coin, and I love it because I love it, and it's attached to my game or my company or my persona or my whatever. I think if you pushed me and said, well, what's the second best? I would say the world wants two things. It wants crypto property as a savings account, and it wants cryptocurrency as a checking account. Mm-hmm. And that means that the most popular thing really is going to be a stablecoin dollar, right? And there's maybe a fight right now, it might be Tether, right? But mm-hmm. A stable dollar, because I feel like the market opportunity, it's not clear that there'll be one that will win. The class of stable dollars is probably a $1 to $10 trillion market easily. Mm-hmm. I think that in the crypto platform space, Ethereum will compete with Solana and Binance Smart Chain and the like.
Are there certain characteristics of any of them that kind of stand out to you? Don't you think the competition is based on a set of features? Also, so the set of features that a cryptocurrency provides, but also the community that it provides. Don't you think the community matters and sort of the adoption, the dynamic of the adoption, both across the developers and the investors?
If I'm looking at them, the first question is what's the regulatory risk? How likely is it to be deemed a property versus security? And the second is what's the competitive risk? And the third is what's the speed and the performance? And all those things, lead to the question of what's the security risk? How likely is it to crash and burn, and how stable or unstable is it? And then there's the marketing risk. There are different teams behind each of these things and communities behind them. I think that the big cloud looming over the crypto industry is regulatory treatment of cryptocurrencies and regulatory treatment of crypto securities and crypto platforms. And I think that won't be determined until the end of the first Biden administration. For example, there are people that would like only U.S. FDIC insured banks to issue cryptocurrencies. They want JP Morgan to issue a crypto dollar backed 1-to-1. But then in the U.S. right now, we have Circle and we have other companies that are licensed entities that are backed by cash and cash equivalents, but they're not FDIC insured banks. Mm-hmm. There's also a debate in Congress about whether state chartered banks should be able to issue these things. And then we have Tether and others that are outside of the U.S. jurisdiction. They're probably not backed by cash and cash equivalents. They're backed by stuff, and we don't know what stuff. And then finally, you have, UST and DAI, which are algorithmic stablecoins, right, that are even more innovative, further outside the compliance framework. So if you ask who's going to win, the question is really, I don't know, will the market decide or will the regulators decide? If the regulators get out of the way and the market fought out, well, then it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
And then I think that all bets are off if the regulators get more heavy-handed with this. And I think you could have the same discussion with crypto properties. Like, like the DeFi exchanges and the crypto exchanges, the SEC would like to regulate the crypto exchanges. They like to regulate the DeFi exchanges. That means they may regulate the crypto platforms and at what rate and in what fashion. And so I think that I could give you an opinion if it was limited to competition under the current regulatory regime. But I think that the regulations are so fast moving and it's so uncertain that you can't make a decision without considering the potential actions of the regulators.
I hope the regulators get out of the way. Can you steel me on the case that Dogecoin is, I guess, the second best cryptocurrency, or if you don't consider Bitcoin a cryptocurrency, but instead a crypto property?
I would classify it as crypto property because the US dollar is a currency. So unless your crypto asset is pegged algorithmically or stably to the value of the dollar, it's not a currency, it's a property or it's an asset.
So then, can you steel man the case that Dogecoin is the best cryptocurrency then? Because Bitcoin is not even in that list.
The debate is going to be whether it's property or security. And there's a debate whether it's decentralized enough. So let's assume it was decentralized.
Yep.
Well, it's increasing at not quite 5% a year inflation rate, but it's not 5% exponentially. It's like a plus 5 million, 5% something. Captain is less. I forget the exact number, but it's an inflationary property. It's got a lower inflation rate than the US dollar, and it's got a much lower inflation rate than many other fiat currencies. So I think you could say that.
But don't you see the power of meme, the power of ideas, the power of fun, or whatever mechanism is used to captivate a community?
I do, but there are meme stocks. It doesn't absolve you of your ethical and securities liabilities if you're promoting it. So like I don't have a problem with like people buying a stock. It's just the way I divide the world is, right, there's investment, there's saving, and there's speculation, and there's trading. So Bitcoin is an asset for saving. If you want to save money for 100 years, you don't really want to take on execution risk or the like. So you're just buying something to hold forever. For you to actually endorse something as a property, like if you said to me, Mike, what should I buy for the next 100 years? I say, well, some amount of real estate, some amount of scarce collectibles, some amount of Bitcoin, right? You can run your company, right? But running your company is an investment. So the savings are properties. If you said, what should I invest in? I'd say, well, here's a list of good companies, private companies. You could start your own company. That's an investment, right? If you said, what should I trade? Well, trading is like a proprietary thing. Like I don't have any special insight into that. If you're a good trader, you know you are. If you said to me, what should you speculate in? Mm-hmm. We talk about meme stocks and meme coins, and it's kind of sits up there. It sits right in the same space with what horse should you bet on and what sports team should you gamble on, and should you bet on black 6 times in a row and double down each time. It's fun, but at the end of the day, it's a speculation